John Champion was at St James's Park for us.
Only Manchester United and Arsenal have played in more FA Cup finals than Newcastle. That the competition provided the club's last domestic trophy back in 1955 is surely a measure of Geordie underachievement. Joe Kinnear's team selection has been compromised by the absence of 11 senior players to injury, but there's still enough quality left to form a representative team, albeit leaving only youth on the bench. Michael Owen and Nicky Butt are both cup winners. Shay Gibbon played in the 1998 final for Newcastle. However, his future here remains unclear. Hull, with league points having dried up of late, make 8 changes, giving rare starts to Nathan Doyle and Ryan France. George Boateng returns as captain. Craig Fagan is back at the ground where his leg was broken by Danny Guthrie's rash tackle in September. On that day in the Premier League, Hull won. A goalless draw at the KC Stadium 11 days ago is the reason for this replay. A visit from Millwall is the prize for the winners. Hull in their change kit tonight of all white, and this is Michael Owen, halted by Zayatte, and Paul McShane clears the danger. Michael Owen bursting through with little more than 10 seconds on the clock. And it took a combination of Hull's 2 centre-backs to halt him. There's no flag, it's Garcia, it's Halmosi. It's a wonderful recovery tackle by Edgar. Because there was no margin at all for errant timing. Newcastle's backline guilty of standing still, all but the Canadian junior international. Gutierrez. Xisco and Owen available. And there's Xisco! And it should have been 1-0. Short of match action. First time he's appeared since October. That was a chance that begged to be converted. Cousin very tightly marked by Coloccini. And Cousin's gone down, having tangled with the Argentine. And it was notable that Coloccini got away from the scene of his possible crime as quickly as possible. Duff. It's good play by the Irishman Duff, who's hauled down cynically. A yard outside by Nathan Doyle. So driven and deflected onto the frame of the goal. Nicky Butt held his head in his hands. Guthrie, who whipped it in. It's as close as either side has come to a goal. Cousin. Late again from Coloccini, and that's not the first time. And on this occasion, Coloccini is going to be booked because he was late and he clattered the Hull striker. Ball had departed. Coloccini was committed. There was a not dissimilar incident a couple of minutes ago which he got away with. Oh, and the managers are going forehead to forehead on the touchline. And I think Phil Dowd is asking both of them to leave their technical areas. He's pointed to Joe Kinnear and said, "You in the stand," and Phil Brown too. The Hull manager has departed. Joe Kinnear is arguing before he goes. Two managers who wear their hearts on their respective sleeves. But now it's the deputies in control down there. Brian Horton for Hull, and for Newcastle, Chris Hughton. The Hull's manager is self-evident in the director's box, but Joe Kinnear's whereabouts remain a mystery. Here's Owen. Chance for Michael Owen. And by his standards, a chance that at the very least he would have expected to put on target. How often in the past have we seen Owen lash a ball on the volley up over the keeper and down into the net? Not this time. Cousin. Oh, is that a push? Richard Garcia, but the whistle had long since gone. Kusan did well to win the ball. There's the push by Fagan on Nzogpia. And with that we have half-time. Nicky Butt coming closest to scoring for Newcastle with a flying header that glanced away off the face of the crossbar. One or two awkward moments for Phil Dowd, the referee, notably the ongoing feud between Coloccini and Kusan. But at half-time we still await a goal in this tie. 0-0 at the KC and 0-0 at the break here at St James's Park.
Still to come, second half highlights of this, the best of Palace Leicester tonight and last night's FA Cup goals. Goalless in the first game, goalless at half-time tonight. Who would blink first, Hull or Newcastle? Back to John Champion.
135 minutes without a goal and counting. Home tie with Millwall, the reward for the winners. Joe Kinnear reappeared at the start of the second half, albeit high in the stand. A few rows behind his fellow assailant. Duff, lovely cute pass, Owen! Matt Duke did just enough. What a super ball from Damien Duff to release the normally predatory Owen. Played onside by Nathan Doyle. Goalkeeper exposed, but not beaten. He's a veteran of many an FA Cup campaign. Ryan Horton. Shooten played for Tottenham in the famous Ricky Villa final. Kusan. Nathan Doyle. Mendy. Oh, but Mendy's done pretty well here. That hit Coloccini, it's Garcia, and it's scrambled in by Daniel Kusan. And whilst it's brought joy to one distant corner of St James's, it has silenced the majority of the ground. 10 minutes to play, and after Newcastle have spurned the better chances in this game, it is Hull City who have taken the lead. Garcia's low ball in, converted consummately by Kusan. LuaLua. He's got it back fortuitously. Kazenga LuaLua. It's Guthrie. It's Owen! That was the chance. It was the moment where Newcastle's salvation beckoned. But having been spurned by the most unlikely of candidates, it may well be that the 6 times cup winners are heading out of this season's competition. Finally judged flighted cross by Guthrie, and it seemed to come off Owen's shoulder rather than his forehead. No prizes for guessing who Chris Hughton's on the phone to. It's hardly a long distance call. LuaLua. Duff. Owen went for it. Edgar tried to turn with it. And Hull are living dangerously. Charles Nzogpia. Off Nathan Doyle for a corner. And those that remain inside St James's roar their support. And the goalkeeper's up for this. Shay Given has come all the way forward. All or nothing for Newcastle. LuaLua. And now Shay Given shaking his head in disappointment and frustration. Jogs all the way back. Didn't really put the goalkeeper in play. It wasn't delivered into his area. Hull City are through to the fourth round of the FA Cup for the first time in 20 years. Daniel Kusan's goal, decisive, after Newcastle had missed the better chances. Both managers spent most of the game in the stands. Millwall are heading for the KC Stadium on Saturday week. More problems for the Magpies. Newcastle 0, Hull City 1.
We played well. I was delighted with the performance. It just wasn't a B. I think they had one attack and scored. That's the most sickening part of it.
I don't think it was entertaining by any stretch of the imagination. I think we played some great football this season, but to get back to winning ways was the most important thing tonight.
Anybody, any neutrals looking in would always just say there was only always going to be one winners. And of course they were smash and grab, wasn't it? It was a smash and grab job in the last few minutes of the game.
The referee tells us that he sent you and your opposite number off for meeting with your foreheads. Is that how you remember it?
I wouldn't fancy meeting Joe forehead to forehead at all.
I know we exchanged words, but that's about it. I was completely shocked, to be honest.
It was quite simple. The centre-half gone through the back of our striker. He's waved play on the first one because he thought it was an advantage, and rightly so, filled out, but he's not come back and spoke to the lad. Next challenge he makes, he goes through the back of our striker. He's going to get booked. What they're complaining about, I just don't know.
No headbutting or no heads clashed each other. If that's what the referee says, and I'm bitterly disappointed.
I'm passionate about my team, I'm passionate about Hull City, I'm passionate about winning, I'm passionate about performances, and sometimes that spills over, and I've got myself to blame for that. Phil Dowd was right.